WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs. Original shows. Music news. The hottest DJs from around the world.
All right. I mean, I guess welcome to the series finale of America. I mean, another new week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. I don't know what to say.
Have you picked your slave name yet?
I ain't, but not yet. I'm sure they'll pick something nice and colorful for me, though.
Man, because they done set us back 400 years. Oh, Lord.
I feel like America stepped out the shower and, like, put its dirty panties back on.
Mm-hmm.
And it just... Like, honestly, I don't know how to feel.
It's sad, but
It
I
is.
can honestly say that I'm not surprised.
It's not... okay, so it's not shocking. At the least, it's not. But it's disappointing in a way that I didn't think that I would feel in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we'll get more so into it, I mean, as the show develops. But I mean, the best thing I can say for me is my mood this week, somber. But I mean, I can't stop existing.
Right.
I can't stop, working, because I gotta eat.
Right.
And up until somebody tells me to do something that I'm not gonna do, that ultimately means that my life is no longer here. I mean, then I just have to live life.
Yeah.
I just have to do what I have to do, and I'm still gonna laugh at shit because shit is funny. I'm gonna laugh up until the very end because I can. What about you? What's your mood looking like this week, Miss Lyric?
My mood this week is... I'd have to say I have a different range of emotions. I got mad, sad, over it, and now it's to the point now it's like, I'm alright. Because what I do realize is I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not debating with a soul about how I feel. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, of why they shouldn't have voted this way. And guess what? If you made that conscious decision after somebody blatantly told you who they were,
over and over. And
you deserve everything that you get to experience.
And over.
I just feel sad for the rest of us who have to put up with it because of something that the rest of the people done chose. We got to deal with the consequences of this toxic relationship.
I mean, it
that
really
we didn't
is.
have to be in.
I mean, it really is. Under a Trump presidency with the majority Republican Senate, I mean, outside of the microaggressions that we only got a taste of today, did you see on social media people talking about, they are literally posting status messages right now talking about Kay Landers posted, if slavery come back, who I want to be mine. I swear I'm gonna be the coolest massa ever.
Yeah.
Shit like that. That they don't,
of course.
Like, everything is a goddamn joke. And this is what I've been talking about for years on this show, and people have been getting down on me about, oh, well, you want to say this, that, the third. I mean, people be just joking, comedians, you a comedian. First off, I'm not a comedian. But secondly, even if I was a comedian and the few people that find me funny, you can also be funny and not offensive. But when you're when you say those things, they ultimately snowball into situations just like this. There's so much discourse going on back and forth between so many different demographics.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I bet the unfriend button has never been used more than it has been used today. And I'm not
Oh,
talking about just
absolutely.
me. I'm not just
Mm-hmm.
talking about me. I'm talking about across the board. Because niggas
Mm-hmm.
are just bickering. Like, I turned on Facebook this morning, probably like 5 o'clock in the morning, because I go on Instagram and I'll look at Black Enterprise and I'll see all the different achievements and stuff. And for those of y'all that follow my stories, that's kind of like my morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets me in that mood. It gets me motivated. I'm looking at what other professionals and what other, people are aspiring to do. And it motivates me to go out here into the world and do a little bit more and be a little bit better. And,
Right.
I don't know. It's a lot, but you know what? I'm optimistic, at least for now. And largely probably because of these edibles, but we're going to get right on into it. But under a Trump presidency with a majority Republican Senate, here are a few things and a few key areas where we might see changes. Environmental regulations. So expect to see a diminishing focus on climate change initiatives and environmental protections. That is what it is. This may lead to increased support for fossil fuel industries and a rollback of regulations aimed at protecting air and water quality. So for y'all out there concerned about your babies drinking lead in the water, guess what? You voted for this.
Yep.
Healthcare access. The Affordable Care Act, often targeted by Republican lawmakers, may face a renewed efforts of repeal or dismantle it entirely. This could result in millions losing access to affordable health care, particularly for those with pre-existing conditions, as the push for alternative healthcare models gain traction. Reproductive rights. With a conservative Senate, we could see increased attempts to restrict access. Trump has already talked about the things that he wants to do, and his press secretary, even today, she said, she confirmed. She was like, "Oh, just be clear. On the first day of his presidency, there will be mass deportations."
Yep.
Like, he didn't just say it for funsies. So all of y'all that sat back and were, you know what? We're gonna get into that later. Voting rights. There may be efforts to implement stricter voting regulations, such as voter ID laws, and reduce access to early voting and mail-in ballots. Civil rights protections for LGBTQ individuals, particularly in areas such as housing and employment. They may be rolled back. Expect to see challenges and changes to policies that promote inclusivity and equality, reflecting a more conservative stance on civil rights issues. So that trans coworker that's in your office and everybody loves, they might not be there under a Trump presidency, because the protections that allow that person to not be discriminated against in your workplace may be rolled back.
Yep.
Immigration policies. The previous hardline immigration policies could be reinstated or intensified, leading to increased deportations. Again, she's already said this, so expect that. Expect your babies they had them in cages last time. Did we forget?
Yeah,
cages.
Obviously.
And
the list
these changes it does. As these changes unfold, it'd be crucial for citizens to remain engaged, advocate for their rights, and mobilize efforts to push back against potential rollbacks of progress made in recent years. That's the best I can tell you, but this is what we voted for, America, so here we are.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
We did. But on a lighter note, when I grow up, I want to be like Beyonce, because in a historic milestone that cements her legacy, the doll has officially become the best-selling Black female artist of all time, with a staggering 350 million records sold globally.
I know that's right.
Word.
Go ahead, B. And we still having the dance fucking party, bitch.
We really are. Really are.
All right. When I grow up, I want to be like Rayshonda Lewis. She's not a clock, but she stay clocking it. And for that, I say, thank you. Who is Rashonda? She is
who is she?
A creator, an author, a diversity advocate. She's a host, a philanthropist. She has 2.3 million followers on TikTok. Miss Mamas spoke a couple of days ago at the Women's March here in DC, letting people know, especially women, how important it is to get out and vote. And the reason why I chose her is because not only is she hella entertaining to me, but she reminds me of us. Of
you and I?
Yes.
We're not great people. Well, I'm not.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. How we entertain the people and educate the people at the same time. Wow. This is something that she has made a great niche out of. And I just wanted to celebrate her because all this week she has been dropping gems and encouraging people to just get out there and vote, letting people know, even today, that it's okay. Things didn't go the way that we thought it would, but the fight is not going to stop. We will continue to press on. We will continue to move forward. One monkey don't stop no show. So if you guys want to follow her, her Instagram is @shop_AIF. And her name is Rashonda Lias. And baby girl, for that, I say thank you.
Hats off. That's awesome. All right. So, let's see. So I picked a really funny letter for If It Were Lyrics. So, kind of raise the mood a little bit. So I guess we can get into that up next. Sure. Because the only way I was able to get through this day is very heavy edible usage after I got home.
I know that's right.
So let's just see where the adventure takes us. Up next, If It Were Lyrics.
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would. If it were lyric.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Lyric, and I'm back with my segment, If It Were Lyric, where I give my 2 cents about your situationships, friendships, relationships, and all that in between. If you guys want to continue to send me your advice questions, please send them to my Gmail at lyricbravado@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it, for a limited amount of time.
I'm over
mostly Facebook and Instagram at Lyric Bravado. Now let's get into it. This first letter that I received does want to remain anonymous. Okay. And it reads, Dear Lyric, I am a dual citizen in the United States. My husband is American, and we have been talking about having children, but the unrest from the election has really changed my mind about having children here ever, no matter the outcome. His is not a financial issue either. I am decently well off from my job, I'm an engineer. The issue is, this country literally terrifies me right now. It's not the country I moved to in college. It's horrifying. And every day I talk to anyone or walk down the street or see someone talking about their political affiliation here, it makes me seize up. I become very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm my great-grandma watching Hitler come into power. She described the realization to me once, and man, it feels eerie. Honestly, it doesn't matter who wins. It's that we're surrounded by people whose views disturb me at this point. We live in a red state. I've already began to look at houses in Canada. I've been telling my husband for a while, 3 years, that I don't want to live here anymore. But tonight, I put my foot down. And I told him I will not be having children here ever. It's honestly a deciding factor. I don't want to raise children here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be pregnant here. He keeps saying, why are you being like this? But I don't know how to explain it any better. Can you help? I think you explained it perfectly. Whether you went into detail, I'm not sure. Don't know the extent of the conversation. Don't know if you want to maybe try going into more detail and explaining him exactly what you wrote in the letter to me. Tell him how you feel uncomfortable.
Tell him to carry it.
How you experience things in everyday life, and that's why you feel the way that you feel about having children here. Because honestly, a lot of Americans feel that way too. So you are not alone. A lot of us feel like, man, we want to leave up out of here. We feel the same way that we did back in 2016 when this first happened. A lot of people was trying to move to Africa. A lot of people was trying to go to Canada. Canada said absolutely not.
They said, you keep that fuckery right over there. They said, don't you bring that shit over here.
Listen, you can't stay here. Seats taken. Yeah, they said all of that. So I understand, and your feelings are completely valid. So is your choice. You do not have to have children in a country where you don't feel safe, where you don't feel validated, where you feel as though it would be more harmful than good. That is your decision. Because guess what? It's still your body, your choice. Regardless. So I would definitely go into more detail with him and tell him why you feel that way. You just saying it versus going into detail and telling him your real experiences may change the way that he is open to it and understanding of it. So I would try that. And in any case, if it don't work, girl,
roll.
Like my girl Rashonda said,
leave
by
him.
every voting booth, there's a courthouse. And in that courthouse lives something called divorce. So, girl, do what you gonna do. Yeah, that's what I do with me.
All right, so our second one and last one will end on a happy note.
Yay.
All right, the subject line, it reads, need some lyric wisdom for a hilarious situation.
I know
Says,
that's
hey,
right.
Lyric. Am I dragging, by the way?
Oh,
okay. Hey, Lyric. I hope this message finds you all in high spirits. I'm writing to you because I found myself in a rather comical predicament, and who better to turn to than the people that regularly make me laugh and get me through the week. So here's the scoop. I recently decided to host a, quote, culinary challenge night, end quote, with my friends, fully convinced that I could channel my inner Gordon Ramsay.
Child.
Everything was going fine until I decided to take a bold leap and create my own version of a gourmet pizza. I mean, who doesn't love pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a little too creative with the toppings. So picture this. I'm taking pickles, gummy bears, and wait for it, sriracha sauce. I thought I was a culinary genius, but when my friends took their first bites, The looks on their faces was a mix of horror and confusion. One friend even asked if I was trying to summon a food-related curse. Now I'm stuck with a mountain of these bizarre pizzas, and my friends are threatening to stage a protest if I ever attempt to cook again. To make matters worse, my competitive spirit has me considering a pizza redemption night where I try to make normal pizza, but they're not having it. So, Lyric, here's where I need your help. How do I win back my friends and redeem my culinary reputation without losing my sense of humor? Should I embrace the chaos and throw a crazy pizza party where everyone has to try my concoctions, or should I stick to the classic pepperoni? I could really use your advice on how to turn this disaster into a win. Thanks for being the voice of reason and laughter in my life. Can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts. Cheesy but hopeful, not Gordon Ramsay.
Of course you're not, because you're gonna kill somebody. You might as well made a chitlin pizza. You might as well made a chitlin pizza with peanut butter and jelly as the sauce. Like, what are we doing here?
No,
you
but
knew that was
what?
not okay.
People be
and shout out to your friends for trying
it.
Chow now. I'm not eating it, and shout out to your friends for even taking a bite out of it. Y'all the real troopers. Y'all the real MVPs in this.
You know
story.
what? They are.
What?
They was like,
what?
You know what? This is a little strange, but she my girl. So you know what? I'm gonna try out Katie's, her weird pizza and shit, and then they bit into it, and now everybody got diarrhea.
And everybody throwing up.
And you sitting here writing letters to Lyric talking about, what do I do to redeem my culinary reputation? Girl,
never try
you
that
never
shit
cook
again.
Never.
Ever.
Don't you touch an oven.
Now, if it were me,
don't even go in the kitchen.
I would put ingredients that actually go together, that actually complement each other. Because what? You thought that was a good idea. You said pickles. I'm thinking
literally
sour.
Talk to yourself.
Gummy bears, sweet. Sriracha, hot. That don't go together at all. Now, if you wanted something like that, I could have suggested like a hot honey or something like that on normal ingredients. I just listen.
Everybody's so creative.
Next time, put that pizza as a gag on the table in the far corner where it's safe from anybody's human consumption.
Don't you
and
make
cook
this
regular
shit
stuff.
No, don't you make this shit again. Don't
cook regular stuff.
Don't do it
before you hurt somebody. Because food poisoning is real out here. Y'all be acting like since COVID, the regular stuff don't even matter. Like, no.
Oh my God, I just thought about it. We just elected the person that walked around and told everybody not to wear masks. It's about to be a whole bunch of sneezing, nasty. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We just let the man who called it the Kung Flu. Okay. Did y'all
remember booty hole slobs?
Did y'all forget that? Oh, okay.
Wow.
But in any case, that's all I got for y'all this week. Please continue to send me your advice questions. I appreciate them and I love reading them and helping you with them. So again, send them to lyricbravado@gmail.com or feel free to DM me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Lyric Bravado. Till next time. Bye.
I guess up next we are trolling the timeline like, I don't know, America trolled us.
Don't waste your time arguing with these motherfuckers about Tory Lanez. There's no point. Because bias aside, let's just talk common sense. They don't believe Meg because she lied about fucking Tory. They also believe that Kelsey did it, something that Tory himself has denied. So by that logic, wouldn't he also be a liar? One that put himself in prison by protecting the actual offender? They are saying that the phone call of him apologizing to Meg was him saying sorry for fucking 2 women, but they also believe that Meg backdoored Kelsey, so why would he be apologizing to Meg and not Kelsey? And the thing is, I don't even think this is just a matter of love for Tory or hatred for Meg. It's not even just about this one case. We are arguing with people who will play mental gymnastics to defend any man that is predatory or violent. The people defending Tory Lanez are undoubtedly the same group that were saying that those girls knew what they were doing when it came to R. Kelly. The same people that think that everybody is lying about Chris Brown and that he's some innocent little boy who made one mistake in 2009. The same ones still platforming Boosie and calling him Unc when he admitted to facilitating sexual assault upon his child. They think he's a better father than Dwayne Wade, though. The same motherfuckers who believe that Bill Cosby only got hemmed up because he was trying to buy NBC. The same people who heard a case about prolific rape and sex trafficking, but all they can focus on is making jokes about baby oil. We're arguing with men who probably harm women in their everyday lives and women who think that good coochie is the reason that their boyfriend knocks them upside the head. Yes, there is a hate train against Meg Thee Stallion because society hates sexually open or liberated women. But behind every abuser, predator, or violent man, there is a group of cheerleaders. Be abusive. Be abusive.
Time to troll.
All right, we back on academic. Shit. I'm sitting here reading a story about academics, and anyways, we back here. Armageddon week is what I was trying to say. On WRTR. We about to troll this timeline. It is. So let's get into what academics is talking about. So he posted this picture. Shade Room reports that he posted this picture. I'ma catch y'all niggas tomorrow. Post a picture with him and Donald Trump.
Ciao.
Like, it's wild and ironic that academics, of all people, would post a pic with him while bumping Jeezy's My President. That's the thing. He posted it on Instagram and then had My President playing in the background. That track, which celebrates Obama's historic win. Like, all about hope and change. Seeing it paired with Trump, who is Trump. Yeah, you tried it, academics. The feds didn't lock him up. Ain't he supposed to be locked up? What happened?
First of all, sometimes you got to look at who the person is.
The source material, I get it.
And then, that makes sense. Just like it makes sense for Amber Rose and Ray J to be linked up at the campaign headquarters with matching Make America Great Again hats. Makes sense.
You know, all these closet Uncle Toms, y'all up here protesting about the gays being in the closet the whole time. Y'all come, like, do you want, what's a bigger threat? Me butt fucking another man, or you conspiring against your own people? Who's the real threat?
I picked door number 2.
I mean,
for 500.
This is all a clear reminder that the game has changed, and we need to really think about what kind of leaders and messages that we're really supporting out here in these streets, y'all. Just pay attention. Speaking of which, DC Young Fly says that he was unable to vote due to an issue with the address on his license. In a recent headline, DC Young Fly revealed that he was unable to cast his vote due to a mix-up with the address on his driver's license. The comedian and actor shared his frustration on social media, because we could help, explaining that discrepancies between his registered voting address and the one listed on his ID prevented him from participating in the election. So, I mean, do you want it or do you want me to take it? Go ahead.
As much as I sympathize with his notion, I don't though, because I feel like you had weeks and weeks and weeks to get that stuff situated and taken care of. Like that at this point, you should have kept that to yourself.
Don't tell us.
Don't say nothing.
Y'all just be. Never.
I don't know which one is worse, him Waka Flocka, who also posted, he didn't even vote. He's registered. He put in my black face that he's registered and been registered for years. Was able, had zero problem, and made the conscious choice to not vote. What are we doing here?
You guys asking the wrong one. I've been on this podcast for 12 years now, yelling and screaming at y'all to read, yelling and screaming at y'all to vote, yelling and screaming for y'all to get involved, get out here, find out what's going on in the communities around you, stop hating women. And here we sit. I mean, do you want to pivot? Because I got a perfect segue from that too.
Speaking of hating women, it's like, I'm just playing. Diddy don't hate women. He just abuses them, allegedly.
No.
King Combs took to Instagram.
It's all part of the package.
King Combs, Sean P. Diddy Combs' son, took to Instagram to reveal that he is taking over his father's Instagram account. He wants to let everybody know that it's time to go down memory lane and showcase all of the positive things that he has done. And all of this was done in celebration for P. Diddy's birthday, which I believe he was turned 54, 55, which was celebrated behind bars this year. And to that I say, no thank you.
I know that's right. Because the kind of parties that you have, I don't even think I want them happening behind jails. Wow.
Yep.
Speaking of Diddy, in a recent headline, it was revealed that Diddy has an alleged standard non-disclosure agreement for his studio sessions, which includes some pretty strict clauses. So, according to leaked information, signees are prohibited from giving interviews, writing books, or otherwise sharing any information about Diddy and his projects. This move reflects a broader trend in the entertainment industry where artists and producers seek to protect their creative processes and personal lives from outside scrutiny. However, it also raises questions about transparency and the balance between privacy and the freedom of expression for those to collaborate with him. So, them NDAs, so I know that they've talked a lot about, people coming forward and how come this ain't, how come so-and-so ain't said such and such and all this other stuff. And, I guess because of these NDAs, but I don't know. Critics might argue that the measures could, stifle creativity and discourage open dialogue about the music-making process, while supporters may see it as a necessary step to safeguard Diddy's brand and intellectual property. And the rest of us look at it like, what you got?
Don't say nothing about who I fucked on in that booth. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Please, allegedly.
Exactly. Speaking of harmful and abusive, I'm sorry. Did you have one?
I did.
Go.
I was gonna say, congratulations are in order for Lisa Blunt Rochester to become Delaware's first Black female senator, and Angela also Brooke to become Maryland's first Black female senator.
Maryland has lined it up. We have Brandon Scott. We have also Brooks. We have 5 different niggas in charge right now in Maryland. We did our part.
Yes, we did.
What you guys doing? What y'all doing?
Showed up and showed out. Made history. Love to see it.
Okay.
Love to see it.
Well, I was going to pivot into Diddy and then talk about other abusive men like Russell Simmons. A woman who accused Russell Simmons of sexual assault in the 90s blast claims that he's retired in Indonesia. In a recent headline. Listen, he was out there where he could not be extradited. That nigga Juicy slided his ass right up out the way.
Listen.
Fuck me. In a recent headline, a woman who accused Russell Simmons of sexual assault in the 1990s publicly criticized claims suggesting that he has retired peacefully in Indonesia. She expressed her frustration, asserting that his alleged retirement is a way to escape accountability for his past actions rather than a genuine withdrawal from the industry. This revelation highlights the ongoing complexities of the Me Too movement, where survivors continue to seek justice and recognition for their experiences, even decades later. And you know that shit is about to be ran back to. Fuck you and your, your trauma that this world has sent you through. Because America.
That's why they so did it. It was like, oh no, you go turn that give me that passport, because one got away. We making sure you ain't going no motherfucking way. Nigga.
Exactly.
And speaking of y'all not getting away with shit. Wise is expected to file a lawsuit against several artists, including
Plies,
Glorilla, and Megan Thee Stallion, for reported copyright infringement. According to documents obtained by TMZ on Wednesday, Plies legally filed on behalf of his 2008 record, Me and My Goons, claiming that the record was sampled on Soulja Boy's 2010 record, Pretty Boy Swag. The Florida native also featured Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla in the suit for the song Wannabe, which he claims also features his original song sample. And for that, get your money, baby. Because guess what? I listened to all three of them joints, and y'all stole that man's stuff. Y'all gonna have to pay that man. And it's so funny because he waited until the songs became popular. Like, Pretty Boy Swag has been out for years and years and years, and it's probably getting close to like platinum status or whatever the case may be. He waited. He said, "I'm a hold out."
The Pretty Boy Swag.
I'm gonna have to pay me. Nigga, smart. You smart.
Who is listening to Pretty Boy Swag?
Shoot. We all was listening to it, whether we wanted to or not.
In 2024.
Back in 2010, are you kidding me?
Shit,
whether
2010, I didn't.
They wore that song out.
Okay. Speaking of don't touch this is my shit. Beyonce files a new motion to trademark her daughter Blue Ivy's name.
I know that's right.
Beyonce's legal team has filed a motion to trademark Blue Ivy Carter's name, arguing there's no consumer confusion between Blue Ivy and a small Wisconsin clothing boutique. Despite the trademark office's tentative ruling against it, Beyonce attorneys emphasized Blue Ivy's public, unique identity. Jay-Z clarified years ago that they sought the trademark to protect their daughter for commercial exploitation, not for business use. So,
period.
If there's anybody you don't want to mess with,
let me name my business this.
Exactly. Blue, and then gonna capitalize off of it. Then you have people out taking little social media selfies in front of it. Hey guys, I went to #Blue Ivy. Oh, it's no go, people. It's no go.
That's all I really cared about, unless you had something else.
I mean, Dr. Phil. Do we care?
No.
He spoke at Trump's rally. Okay, yeah. Then no, I'm good.
What do you say? He's out of rebellion? No, we don't care about that. You saw
Right.
you a salty bitch.
Huh. Speaking of which, the Caucasity. Up next. We'll be right back.
Period.
I might get some violations and I may offend some people with what I'm going to say, and I don't give a fuck. To all you Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family. Whether you were here legally or not, you gotta go. I hope he does that. To you black men who your fragile ego couldn't take a black woman in office, so you either voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all, the police will now have carte blanche to murder you right where the fuck you stand. And when they do that, there's not going to be no GoFundMes. Don't ask your family to ask us for shit. Just die. They can't afford to bury you. Dig a hole in their backyard. It is what the fuck it is. But don't expect sympathy. Don't expect protest in the streets. We're not doing that. Black women, we're done. We're done. We did our due diligence for this century and the next. We've done enough. We're not doing anymore. To you white women that once again voted against your fucking interests, when your husbands start knocking you into the middle of fucking next week and you can't do anything about it because no fault divorce is in play, I want you to take those black eyes and those busted lips as a personal thank you from Donald J. Trump each and every time you get fucking hit. Take it. Don't look for nobody else. Don't ask for fucking help. Take your beatings. For all of y'all that voted for Trump, I hope you get exactly what you voted for. Because the only thing he did was make America great for the people that it was great for from the fucking beginning. White men. That's what he did. He couldn't run the risk of whiteness no longer being the default. Not being allowed to fail up. So when you're bleeding out somewhere and there's a medical emergency and you can't get no fucking help, women who voted for him, don't take it. You just gotta die. If you got kids, they just gonna be motherless. It is what the fuck it is. You didn't give a fuck, so we don't give a fuck. That's how it is. This isn't America anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not gonna be America. And if you think that Trump is gonna be in that office for 4 years, you're fucking insane. Because we about to be in a real live action episode of fucking Scandal. Because your next president is not Donald Trump, it's J.D. Vance. Because trust and believe, within a year, you're not going to see Trump anymore. He's either going to be, and they're going to say it's illness or he died in his sleep. It's natural causes because he's fucking old enough. Or they just going to let him spaz out and do the 25th. And that's when we really going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. So I really hope all of you who voted for him, you get exactly what the fuck you deserve.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
All right, so this week I titled this one Election Fallout. Let's talk about our problems with women. So, really? Okay, Alexa, no. See, now we're going to have this ghetto shit happening. Anyways.
Alexa said, what?
I know, right? Just like what? What? All right.
I'm a woman too.
Alexa can't even. Right, she can't even believe this shit either. She's like, "Look, what the fuck?" She's like, "Who's president?" All right, listen, everybody, right now, it's you falling out for real. See, I'm trying to be serious. All right, seriously, y'all. As we dive into the aftermath of the Trump election, it's really time for some hard truths that demand our attention, especially regarding how certain demographics, including younger voters, black men, and even some of the white folks have navigated their relationships with women throughout this election cycle. Okay? Spoiler alert, it's time to hold some people accountable. Black men. First off, let's address y'all in the room. We've seen a concerning trend in recent elections where a significant portion of black male voters have backed candidates who have historically disrespected and marginalized women, especially women of color. This whole thing isn't just about politics. It's about values. when we support candidates who openly mock, belittle, diminish women, what message are we sending, black men? Like, at what point are we going to reflect on why we're supporting these figures and how these harmful stereotypes can contribute to a culture of misogyny that affects our sisters, mothers, and daughters? Like I said before, I've been on this podcast for 12 years. And throughout those 12 years, I've been a stronger advocate for black women as a gay man than some of y'all. Y'all the ones that are right next to them. They're laying next to you. They ain't laying next to me. I got a whole ass grown nigga laying next to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, help me help you. The fuck? Oh. I do. There's a whole grown nigga. And I'm out here loud and proud and advocating for women where they won't even do it. And y'all forever, like, black women are always showing up for everybody else, especially black men. They are the first to believe your bullshit, which is why they get so frustrated with you, because they, by default, believe you. And this is how you do. Younger voters, let's be real. Many of you showed up, and many of you didn't. You had the power to change the game, yet some of y'all still fell into the trap, whether it's through casual misogyny in social media spaces or like the dismissive attitude y'all have towards women issues. Like, it's 2024. We've seen how vital women's voices are in shaping the future. Yet we often take back seats in these types of discussions. If you're not amplifying women's voices or prioritizing their rights, you are part of the problem.
Period.
Step up, educate yourself. Understand that women's issues are everybody's issues. It's not just about her pussy, and since you ain't got no pussy, you ain't got to worry about it. Like, this is what people think. White voters, let's confront the privilege. Let's talk about y'all. It's essential to confront the privilege that comes into play when it comes to supporting candidates who undermine women's rights. Many of you think that it doesn't directly affect you. This systemic oppression of women is a societal issue. And a lot of y'all niggas white niggas about to find this out too, because a lot of y'all see yourselves in Trump, and Trump does not see himself in y'all broke asses.
Sure the fuck down.
He does not. When you support candidates who like perpetuate this kind of shit, you're just complicit in like the very oppression that many women and minorities face daily. Your vote had power. Yeah. And you handed it to that. At the end of the day, it's on all of us. Men of all backgrounds, young and old, to do better. We can't sit back. We can't let the narrative be shaped by those who disregard women's rights, dignity, people's rights and dignity. This election cycle, it's shown us the cracks in our collective attitudes, like everybody together. We have to challenge each other and hold one another accountable. And a lot of y'all don't like being checked. You don't. You hate it when somebody is talking to you, because then you have to face the very real reality that a lot of y'all are horrible people. But it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. We have to challenge one another. We have to hold one another accountable, and we have to uplift the voices that have been silenced for so long. Y'all are thinking that, oh, well, like, I've seen it all day where people have been talking about, everybody's been going kind of hard towards the Latin community. Have you seen that too, Lyric? You can unmute your mic. I'm done ranting, but,
Yes.
Have you seen, like, where it's been going back and forth?
Yeah. All day.
So everybody's been talking about, and I've seen a lot from black people towards, Mexicans, Latinos and stuff. Oh, well, because the press secretary of Trump, like I said, she jumped on like, yep, mass deportation, day one. Wasn't a game, girl. Like, and a lot of us are coming at them like, well, we're going to see y'all later. It's going to be this, that, and the third. And very, a part of me, I'm going to be honest, a part of me sees where that's coming from, but it doesn't stop there. They get rid of them, then they go find somebody else to oppress. A lot of them are lazy. Who y'all think about the work? Like, you really rolled shit back and you don't let's chew on this one. I'm sorry, go ahead. What do you have to say?
I just feel like a lot of people are just voted from misinformation, emotional votes, ignorance, and just to do it, just to troll. There's a lot of people that voted for him just to troll. Wow. My thing is, you're not going to take it seriously until something happens that affects you
in your family
or somebody in your family.
Yep.
That's when you're going to wake up and realize,
oh shit,
what you have done here. That's the only time. People don't care anymore. People do not care unless it directly affects them.
And I'm just letting y'all know. I'm a whole new nigga altogether. Because in everything, like, when you vote for Trump, when you vote for someone that thinks that my existence as a black man, that my existence as a gay man, like all of the, like, that I should not be here and that I should not have the same rights and liberties and privileges as everybody else, simply off the merit of who I am, the color, the body that I was born into. That's what you deem as, like, that's what you give worth. And if you are a person that has backed those sets of ideals, whether you believe it or whether you disagree with him about that particular thing or not, you still backed this person. That's right. So you've proven yourself. You've given me the knowledge. You are a threat to me. I don't want you around me. And it's like, you have to really understand that that's where people are. I see a lot of this talk online where people are going back and forth talking about, well, don't let no election destroy a lifelong friendship and this, that, and the third. If you are voting for things, not, my access to be able to go out and drink and get fucked up with my friends, not marijuana use, like, not shit that don't matter. You're talking about the very, like, just my existence. These are the things that you voted against. You've shown me by those actions, you've said that you are a threat to me. I'm a whole new nigga now. Because right now, I don't know a whole lot about what's going to happen. But I do know numbers. And in these numbers, I am seeing, like, clearly, white men, 59% Trump. White women, 52% Trump. Black men, 20% Trump. Black women, 7% Trump. Black women showed up. Latino men, 54%. Latino women, 37%. Everybody else, which was majority Kamala, 50-something%. So, in these demographics, when I walk past these demographics of people, I even saved it. Like, I made this my profile picture. Or not my profile picture, but my background picture on my page. And I did it for the sole purpose that if ever I need to come back for reference, I have it right there. I'm a whole new nigga. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be like, I'm not a bigot. I'm not going to go out there and drop a whole bunch of ethnic, slurs and shit. I'm not going to do that because that's just not me, not now, nor has it ever been. But when I see these demographics of people, I know what is a threat to me based off of this. We have no further conversation. There's nothing else that we need to say. So that is my rant for the week. I guess anything to add?
No.
Cool.
Not at all. You did
Back
that.
with the second half. Back with the second half of the show. Up next.
Being in South Africa right now while the election is going on, or while it's over, I should say, and seeing how much Trump won by, I ain't surprised that he won, you know what I'm saying? But the man he won by, oh my. But this country, you feel me? Not the country I'm in, but maybe the country I'm in too though. Cause South Africans showed me they own some shit too, but America, Donald Trump, the Ku Klux Klan, KKK supporting brigade, boy, it said the economy and the border, and we tired of hearing about the pronouns. Y'all said y'all killed it with this one. So our kids learning slavery good and beneficial was cool. Him talking about being a dictator on day one, that shit cool with y'all. You feel me? Him talking about he gonna be the retribution. He gonna go for the enemies within, and you know what I'm saying? Hey man, this is the most wettest hurricane we done seen, the wettest by far in terms of water. What? That New York rally, carving watermelons with my back friend. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico, the shit country, you feel me? Hey man. Shit. There's some content creators that get held high to a high extent to Donald Trump. All them indictments, them shit's gone, you feel me? All them convictions, he ain't worried about them no more. You feel me? He said he want to put the last 4 years behind him. I can't even go enjoy my little wine tasting I'm supposed to be doing before I leave today. I'm supposed to be, supposed to be going to go see, you feel me, Table Mountain, you know what I'm saying? And then I can do from Cape Town. So I'm gonna try to enjoy myself as much as I can. But damn, I left America. I knew though when I left and came back, no matter who won, it was gonna be.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Back in the second half of the show here on WRTR. Miss Lyric, you feeling all right? You still holding it together?
Indeed.
All right. Listener letter time. Subject line reads, a warm thank you from a loyal Canadian listener. Dear Marcus and Lyric, I hope this message finds you in great spirits. I wanted to take a moment to express my sincere appreciation for the incredible work. Okay, you're a little too nice at this point, but the incredible work you've been doing on the podcast. As a longtime listener from Canada, I can honestly say that your show has been a source of joy and insight in my life for years. I've watched you both evolve and grow over time, and it's been a joy to witness your journey. From the hilarious anecdotes to the deep dives into pressing issues, you manage to strike a perfect balance that keeps me coming back for more. Your chemistry is infectious, and I found myself laughing out loud while doing the dishes or commuting to work. That part made me laugh when I read it earlier. Now I have to ask, how do you both manage to stay so upbeat and optimistic in what often feels like a shit show of a country? It baffles me. Here in Canada, we certainly have our own challenges, but the constant barrage of news and the political landscape in the U.S. seems to be on another level. I often find myself tuning into your podcast to remind myself that there's still humor and hope amidst the chaos. Also, I'm curious, what are your ages? It feels like you both have such a youthful energy and perspective. It's inspiring to see how you tackle serious topics with a lighthearted approach, making them more digestible for your listeners. Thank you for all the laughter, the thought-provoking discussions, and for being a beacon of positivity, or bacon for Marcus. Your ability to connect with your audience and uplift spirits in these challenging times is truly a gift. Keep doing what you do best. I'll be here cheering from you from the great white north. Warmest regards, Deshaun from Canada. So,
thank you. That was so sweet.
it really was. I thought that, that was. I pulled that one earlier. I was going with another one, but this one seemed on point because I needed to say something kind or to at least know that my voice has reached somebody. Because right now I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the world's caving in on me, But to answer your question, not telling you, I'm 44. I don't know if Lyric's gonna tell you her age, but I do have a youthful energy and perspective. I do. What keeps me young is my sense of humor. The fact that I can find comedy, and even this is a shit show, and I'm going to laugh until my very last breath because I can't do anything else. Like, this is ridiculous. The situation that America has put us in. And I can say that because I did not vote for this. So I'm going to yell every single day at y'all.
No days off.
None. Zero. It's trash. This is trash. It is. Trash. It's trash. It's awful, and I hate it. All right, so Lyric, how do you manage to stay so upbeat and optimistic in what often feels like a shit show of a country?
Well, let me speak to the age thing first. I am a lady, so I will not be saying my age. I will say that I am grown years old.
I know that's right.
How old I am. Mm-hmm. But how I get through it is I treat life like it's an AA meeting. Honestly.
Oh, hell.
And I say that because I accept the things that I cannot change. I can't do anything about it.
Can't.
What's done is done. I did my part. I showed up and I voted. I used my voice.
We did. We've been using our voices. We've been using our platform to amplify voices.
So, with that being said, now that this is done, we just have to work through it. Life don't stop. Fuck shit happens every single day, every single minute, every single second.
You know what's going to be interesting?
You have to learn how to navigate through life.
And that's what's going to be
interesting. It's not always going to be on the up and up. It's not always going to be successful. You're not always going to win. But that's not what matters the most. The matter is that you keep pushing through, that you keep fighting, that you keep getting up, that you keep trying, that you don't give up, that you keep the faith. And so that is how I get through.
You know what's going to be interesting, Lyric? It's going to be interesting watching other ethnic groups navigate this whole racist landscape, because I'm not saying that they haven't experienced discrimination, but to this magnitude, the way that we get it daily, y'all niggas about to really get it. Like,
you got the juice now. Y'all the new niggas now. Enjoy. Woo!
Up until they get rid of y'all, and then it's back on our black asses.
So love. Enjoy.
Don't think. All right, that's it. Wi-Fi's? Anybody?
Sure, why not?
And to the queer people that voted for Trump, don't come to Pride. Don't come to our marches. Don't march with me. Don't ask me for nothing. Me and you are not part of the same community. You are just someone that's a dude that just happens to like dudes. Gay doesn't define who you are. Girl, bi. Because I'm a queen that happens to love and advocate for my community and everybody in it. Being a part of the community means that we will continue to fight and march until everyone in the community has equal rights. You just guaranteed that we'll have a conservative Supreme Court probably till I die. And if this is gatekeeping, I'm fine with it. I'm holding the key, locking the gate. Girl, you can stand on that side. Me and my community are going to be on this side. So I'm going to spend the rest of my day with my family. I'm going to continue to check in on those that I care about and those that are directly impacted by your decision to vote for someone that hates us.
Why do you have roaches?
The Why File.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained. We're answering why to the questions you want to know by taking your inbox messages on our Facebook page at WRTR Real Talk Radio. You can tweet us. I can't say that I'm going to answer anymore. Yeah, because I'm deleting my Twitter by the end of the week. I'm just like taking all the little fail safes and stuff that I'm taking them shits down. But I will not be, I will not be putting money in Elon's pocket. Nope. Anyways, the Wi-Files. Remember, the truth is out there. You want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
My why comes from me.
Here we go.
Why are people talking shit about Kamala Harris not addressing her supporters last night when Trump did it, when he lost? Everybody else did it when they lost. Why are y'all making such a big deal about her decision from her decision not to speak to the people last night? Why?
What? People are saying that?
Yeah, people are up in arms. People have made videos calling her a coward and all sorts of
She literally just did a speech. I watched it. It's 38 minutes long. It's on YouTube.
But because it wasn't last night, people are feeling away.
First off, the election results weren't even completely confirmed until well after midnight. Who did they think we were going to talk to? Who was up to listen? What?
I don't know, but I woke up to several content creators making disrespectful videos about it and calling her things that is not her name. And I didn't appreciate that shit at all.
The delete button has been hot today, baby.
Hot. And especially because it came from other black women. Bitch. That's why I said I can't get on here. I'm not going to argue with nobody. I can't debate with nobody because I will be arguing with stupid people for the rest of my freaking life. I can't put my energy on it.
I'm telling you. Why?
Why? Because the truth is out there.
It is. We've been saying the truth is out there for years, and ain't nobody taking advantage of the truth
at all.
It be out there. Even when we don't purposefully, like the whole purpose of this segment is to not really answer your questions with answer. Like it's a fun thing, but anyways, Brian from Kansas wants to know what, and this is Brian with a Y, so I know he got some flavor. Anyways, he says, why do you think we often romanticize the past even when we know it wasn't as perfect as we remember? And I know this probably has more of a political undertone, but it is the truth because we do it a lot of us do it. What?
In everyday life.
That's what I'm about to say.
I don't know why people do that, child. People love to hang on to things that no longer suits them.
Bitches rank.
Life hoarders is what I call them. Okay? That's what it is. You hold on to things in life of the past that no longer suit you. You are a hoarder.
I'm just trying to figure out what's romanticized about Trump's presidency. I mean, do they think it's Rainin Stimmies? Like, what's... Oh, you know what? That is the show name. It's Rainin Stimmies.
And it ain't, because he ain't even want y'all niggas to have the shit.
Did not. and we'll make sure that you don't moving forward. Just so you know. So you little birds like Sexy Red talk about, I mean, we ain't even back with Trump at first, but you know, he gave us money and now we like him.
Yeah.
Like what?
No, y'all gonna have y'all hand out, and guess what? He gonna put in your hand a big pile of shit, because that's what you're getting. You're gonna get shit.
Yeah. You,
so,
your pink pussy, and your brown booty hole about to be in the
highly
next
disappointed.
thing. Exactly. And that wraps it up for this week's Wow Files, because the truth is out there. We'll be back with news to make you nauseous.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. If you get deported, oh well. Your kids can't get free lunch at school anymore. Oh well. Your wife is fighting for her life after a miscarriage. Oh well. When he gives Netanyahu the bombs to finish y'all. Oh well. When ICE starts going door to door to collect your family members. Oh well. When you can't get divorced from your abusive husband. Oh well. When your family can't make a child, but you can't get IVF. Oh well. When your son or your daughter can't marry the person they love. Oh well. When you can't marry someone because they're not the same race as you. Oh well. When you're forced to have a baby that you didn't plan nor want. Oh well. When you can't get any of your social services funded. Oh well. When your family loses their medical insurance. Oh well. When your daughter is forced to have the child of the person who assaulted her. Oh well. Oh well. When your grandmother can't pay for her diabetes medicine anymore. Oh well. You didn't get up and go vote. Or you voted for someone who took all these things away from you. So oh well. You got exactly what you asked for. And I don't care.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
Alrighty then, these are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times, the Washington Post, which I'm over, and the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. Completely over it.
Purr. All right, let me see. Say what, Dallas, Texas.
Say what?
Say what?
A Dallas singer is hospitalized after she was shot on stage. According to NBC, Jada Arnell Thomas, 26, was on stage at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters writing autographs when a random woman in the crowd, Micah Williams, 26, pulled out a gun and shot her in front of everybody.
What?
It was a packed house down. People were in line getting autographs, and we all heard a shot, said the founder and president, Curtis King. It was unreal. It was like everything was in slow motion. Thomas was taken to the hospital where she is currently in stable condition. Thank God for that. As for Williams, she was caught a few blocks down from the Performing Arts Center, where police were able to retrieve the handgun. She has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police have not revealed if there was a motive behind the shooting or if Williams knew Thomas prior to the incident. It is eerie to know that we live in this kind of a world with people who seem to be hell-bent on doing harm to other people, many times for no apparent and sensible reason, King said
just
on
because they're there.
Praying for Jada.
Wow. Just up and shooting, or just for no reason?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we can't say black women don't do anything, because this was a black woman against another black woman, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, black women got my respect from here on out. Y'all showed up. Y'all women showed up for this vote. 7% of birds. 7% of birds. That's just like out of the whole black female American demographic. Only 7% were birds and chose Trump. Oh,
Pigeons.
you know what? Say
But
what,
anyway.
America?
Say what?
Donald Trump won the 2024 election. That's nauseating in and of itself.
That's it. That's it.
No.
That's the post. That's the story.
No, but say what, Northern Kentucky?
Say what?
In a disturbing story that just came out of Northern Kentucky, figures, 5 people have been arrested after a 2-year-old boy was found locked up in a makeshift caged area at home.
Gee whiz, man.
Cops got a tip and discovered this little guy confined in what looked like a cage, raising serious alarms about his safety. So what apparently happened is the adults involved, including family members, or allegedly happened, the adult family members, and this includes family members, are now facing charges for child endangerment and neglect. And I mean, let's take a step back and think about it. This kind of this kind of neglect, it ties right into the bigger picture of what's happening in Kentucky and the kind of ideals that led to these actual election results.
What's up with
This
y'all
is Kentucky.
putting people in cages? Like, what type of weird shit y'all?
They are weird.
Every week, somebody is being found in a freaking cage. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
White people want to be slaves so bad. Okay, you know what? Why can't y'all be the slaves? Let's do that. Since y'all like cages and y'all have this fascination with being locked up place, like every scary movie is white people being locked away. And that. Like, y'all like that shit. Y'all romanticize that. Not us. Leave us out of it.
Period.
If you want these and more nauseating news stories, make sure you follow us on social medias. I'm at MarcusSmoot. That's Marcus Smoot.
And on my social media platforms, which I am going to follow in Marcus's and cancel my Twitter. So, because I've been saying that shit for months already, but now I'm definitely going to do that. Going to do that because I don't be on there no way. Y'all trifling. Y'all, that shit is like soft porn now. So
it's literal Elon.com now. So
yeah,
I don't want to hear anything he has to say.
And fuck that site. But you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok until further notice. Because that's another one who at Lyric Bravado.
All right. So this week for Real Talk, I wanted to just talk about how the people are feeling. I literally asked on social media, what are you feeling? And the results are up next.
All right.
To the Latinos for Trump, when he removes birthright citizenship and enacts deportation, mass deportation, I hope you know this is what you wanted. To the Blacks for Trump, when he gives police full immunity and we see police violence at an all-time high, I hope you know this is what you wanted. To the women for Trump, when you ultimately get pregnant and suffer pregnancy complications and the fetus is no longer viable, but you are forced to carry death inside your body and it could kill you and maybe does, I hope you know this is what you wanted. And lastly, to the gays for Trump, when he enacts mass annulments of all of our marriages, I hope you know this is what you wanted. You will no longer be entitled to your kids or that home that you share with your partner. Congratulations. I have nothing for you except concepts of thoughts and prayers.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
All right, we're back to this podcast inside of this hellhole country. Welcome to Armageddon, bitches. So I asked on Facebook, I said, what's on your mind? I posted it this morning, and I pretty much stayed off of social media for the majority of the day. Like, I may have answered like one or two things, but I already knew, like, from jump, I already knew it was about to be like stupid shit. I already knew people was going to get on my nerves. I already knew somebody was going to say fuck shit and that my delete button was going to be hot. And it did not disappoint because the few times that I did check in,
Yeah.
I found myself deleting somebody. So
Of course.
here we go. Anyways, I asked y'all what's on your mind. And a lot of you have a lot of feelings. Dwight says, how did we let this happen again? He said he should have never been a candidate. Thomas says sadness. Erol says you do not want to know. Nolan says how to seek asylum to another country because this is a depressing issue for me. And see, that's another thing we didn't even, really talk about is the mental health aspect of it. Think about all of those people that, it's by this very magical edible that I'm not somewhere, rocking back and forth and depressed. It really is. Because this is very depressing and it's hard to get through. And you have people that don't have friends to, lighten the load and be like, all right, well, shit, let's rock this until, they just feel hopeless.
Yeah.
Cozy says,
read a couple of them.
Go ahead.
Joanne Marsh says, bit of anger and disappointment that this country allowed itself to fall for the bullshit yet again. But unfortunately, I'm not really surprised by it. The country continues to show in very important key moments that it doesn't want to be saved from itself when being led into the dark grips of racism, misogyny, homophobia, and all of the other biases and prejudices that brought about the results of last night. And the unfortunate thing is Harris ran a really good campaign and avoided the mistakes of the Clinton campaign. But it just wasn't enough to break past the white frat boy mentality driving so many of the folks who voted for Trump.
Wow. Sheesh. Trent Hunter says this is some bullshit. If you had any doubts about what it is, you bet not have a one now. Lace up your boots, people. It just got real. Which, okay. So Trent, here's the thing. You've been going back and forth with me on Facebook, back and forth, and it's been for weeks about the policies. And I don't understand what it is, because this has been one of those people that hasn't, I'm sure he voted blue and everything, but he just goes back for, oh, well, you got to learn how to navigate and And my whole point was, let's address the core issues. Let's not play their game. Let's make a whole new game. Let's redo this shit. But not under white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Let's redo this shit on an equal playing field. Anyways, he says you can't vote, get a job at McDonald's, or be a sanitation worker as a convicted felon, but you can be POTUS? Wow. Marky Mark Howard says, how? Why? We know who. White women. Chanel Stevenson says she's heartbroken.
Howard J. Turner says it's going to be a rough 4 years. Jim Crow 2025. So many things will be destroyed. The ACA, Medicare/Medicaid, I believe that's what he meant. Social Security. I'm in my feelings about voters who caved to their oppressor, despite his rampant expressions of hate and disrespect. Hopes for Roe are dead. Just my thoughts.
Sunshine Janae says America is sexist and then racist, in that order. Praying we can see the day a woman is elected. We can birth kids, raise a boy into a man, and run our households, but can't be in leadership. That's crazy. I'm praying for America. So Gino says Maryland did its part. I don't really care anymore.
We did show up. Heather Louise says, and I'm reading this one because I want to let the person who sent that anonymous letter know that she is not alone. Heather says, I am deeply thankful for the fact I never decided to bring children into this fucked up world, because y'all's children and grandchildren on down the line will be dealing with this shit for a long time. And I'm sorry. Just so very sorry. I don't know what else to say.
Wow. Jamaica says, you don't really want to know the full thoughts. Or you don't really want to know my full thoughts. I'm pissed. And to me, every motherfucker that voted for that asshole just proved how stupid and racist they are. How you vote for a felon that showed you his hate for women, anybody that wasn't white, and mentally handicapped people. This fucking country sucks ass. I mean, it goes on. Somebody called it the Great Suffering. You got people talking about God is still in charge when our strength and faith. They want to. Okay. Anyways, somebody said I can't believe Trump won. Somebody said I wore all. Melanie Parker said I wore blue yesterday. I'm wearing all black today. Interestingly, there's not a single political post in my Facebook feed, so all the Russian bots are all I have left. I feel like Jon Snow winter is coming. It's going to be a long 4 years. Maybe we'll work from home again in this next pandemic. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 years thing. Because I think a lot of you are under the misconception that Trump is going to amicably hand over his power. He has vowed to be a dictator on day one. Dictator. Dictators do not hand over their power after 4 years and go, woo, girl, that was so much fun. Your turn. They don't do that. And what adds insult to injury is the fact that we handed him a presidency with no guardrails, with a Republican Senate. We did that. And by we, I mean y'all niggas.
Publicly said on national television,
for everybody
if
to
you
hear.
vote for me, I will make it so you never have to vote
again.
What do y'all think that fucking means?
Oh, well, I didn't hear him say that.
Run the clip back. Run the clip back. Please insert clip here.
We love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Can I do it over? Can I do it over?
No, we don't get a do-over. This is what you guys decided. There's about to be some North Korea shit over here. This is what you guys decided. But I am hopeful, though. One, because I know that the younger generation ain't having it. They're not having it. I'm so proud to say that I have done a great job in my village of raising my children. Because when I woke up this morning in our family chat, they were having conversations that most of you adults refuse to have. Knowing that this is wrong, knowing that the things that he said and bringing up great points, like my kids are having the conversation.
Of course they are, because they're your kids and you're not a goddamn idiot.
And I am proud of the fact that for those who are teaching their kids, for those who are aware, and the younger generation showed up too.
Did they?
I do feel hopeful. For the most part. I don't know.
There was a noticeable shift among younger voters in the battleground states where Trump, the demographic, it usually leans towards Democrats. So, yeah, there's something that happened there because the results illustrate illustrates different from the younger people. They helped put Trump in power, and it's just like we said. I mean, some of it's trolling. Some of it's misinformation. I swear, Some of you old niggas don't know how normal government works. Y'all talking about, oh well, how come Kamala ain't do all this shit? She been vice president for 4 years. Take a civics class, stupid.
Please do.
Do you really understand? Like, you don't understand how any of this shit works.
No.
And it shows.
That's what a lot of people have been saying. It's been pissing me off. Like, research for yourself. Don't just go off of what they're saying on Instagram. Don't just go off on what they're saying, like on his campaign. Research for yourself and see the things that she has done. You're sitting here regurgitating things that he has said, trying to make it seem like she hasn't done anything. You don't know how many people I've heard say, well, we haven't seen her. Where has she been the 4 years that she's been with Biden? And then all of a sudden she just shows up and wants our support. Research. Take the time.
I've given
the
up.
truth is right there, and it's free. I don't understand that. Y'all are lazy and people.
That is what we know.
And sheep. And you're sheep.
Back.
It's easier for you to follow behind the line. Somebody should really do a social experiment. My mom and I was talking about this. Somebody should just stand somewhere and just start a line. See how many people get in that fucking line. Because that's what it is. Take the time for yourself to learn and figure out what's truth and what's a lie. It's right there. And it's free. There's no excuses. Anything that happens now is your fault. Don't complain when the police who kill black people at an alarming rate don't have to answer for it. Don't complain when your brother or your sister or whoever has never been in trouble before, unarmed, and this, that, and the third, gets pulled over for a simple traffic violation.
All of that.
Doesn't get to come home because the police doesn't have to answer for killing them. Don't complain about these things. Don't say it.
Because this is what you wanted. You wanted Trump to come in, to swoop in and save you from life-saving abortion operations and drag queen reading hour. Meanwhile, actual active shooters are shooting at your goddamn kids.
Don't complain. Accept it. This is your new reality. There. This is what it is. This is what you decided. And sit with that.
Well, I guess we'll do this show as long as we can. So I guess we're wrapping up this week. Here on WRTR, Miss Lyric, got any parting thoughts before we get out of here for the week?
My parting thought is this. Now that America has decided this fate, what are you going to do individually to make it better? Are you just going to sit back and continue just letting people say and do whatever? Or are you going to actually speak up and advocate for other people? Don't wait until it affects you. Don't wait until it affects your family member. Don't wait until it affects your best friend or whatever the case may be. Do something now before it's too late and you no longer have a voice because you voted against it.
Wow. Powerful words. All right. Well, with that, I mean, I was going to say something. But shit. I mean, you cleared it up. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's expected. It's here. I mean, brace yourself. Next chapter under a Trump administration. It's not the end of the story. I mean, it's just another twist in a long, long saga. But historically, we as blacks have faced challenges before, and we will face them again. Fuck around and find out. Stay woke. I'll let y'all next week.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show features talents from TikTok creators Chris the Author, The Conscious Lee, Bitch Happens, Rainbow Dads, Caress Marie 4, and I am Mari Karin, using our platform to amplify your voices.